Welcome into the Orange Crush podcast. It's been a full week since Cody and I hung out with all of you. We've got Cody Roark, Rachel Vigil hanging with you for the next 45 minutes. We're not doing a show on Thanksgiving. We want all of you to be hanging out with your family, watching football, whatever you're going to do on the holiday. So we're going to do a nice little long episode today. But Cody, how are you?
I tell you what, the bye week was much needed. It was nice. It's kind of just, we're still busy. We still obviously stuff that we had to do for our jobs respectively.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was nice to kind of have a little bit of a reset mentally, just because this team is at 9-2. If they go on a deep playoff run, which that's the expectation, that's what Sean Payton wants. That's what he has kind of been very firm on saying.
Yeah.
It's going to be a grind of the second half of the season. So, a nice little mental reset to get us ready for what should be and hopefully will be a fun second half stretch that could lead to maybe some Mile High magic.
Oh, I hope we have plenty of Mile High magic. I'm totally with you. I didn't realize how bad I needed the bye week until I was sitting on my couch on a Wednesday and I was like, this is really nice. Like,
what am I doing today? Like, what do
I was like, I have nothing else I need to do. Like, I'm just going to sit here and really take it in. So I definitely enjoyed it. Did you do anything fun?
No, I didn't. I think
Nothing at all?
I just hung out with the puppy and, kind of relaxed. I still made I still have to do Good Morning Broncos every morning,
Yeah.
I'm on my second cup of coffee today. I will say we put up our Christmas tree.
Very nice. No ornaments though, not yet.
Not yet, but if you look under it, we already have the village. My wife is very big into decorating, and so our house, you can see the stockings in the background. We have stockings already hung up for ourselves and the dogs. The Christmas tree is up. It looks like a very Christmassy theme here in the house. So that's what we did. Went to Williams-Sonoma and got some Williams-Sonoma-based hot chocolate, which if you've ever had that's game-changing. And we watched The Grinch. So it was more like we haven't had Thanksgiving yet, but my wife loves Christmas. So you know what? Happy wife, happy life.
Exactly. I am decorating actually on Thanksgiving. So that'll be what I'm doing. We're hosting a bunch of friends over on Black Friday. So I'm like, okay, gotta get the tree up on Thanksgiving night. Just get ready, get in the spirit a little bit. So I'm excited for that. But let's talk about this Broncos team because they could make a deep run. I think after beating the Chiefs was when it really hit of okay, this team isn't a fraud, right? They have the ability to come back, which we've obviously seen many times before. You have the ability to run a solid offense, which I feel like we saw a little bit more in the Chiefs game. And then you have a defense that can carry you as far as you want to go. So I feel like it's all kind of starting to add up. And maybe the offense isn't exactly where a lot of people want it to be, right? It's really fun when you're scoring 35 points, 40 points, but that's also not super realistic. But when you have a defense that can carry you, I say roll with it. That's exactly what happened in Super Bowl 50.
Yeah, and look, at 10 years later, the narratives, the themes are all kind of the same, essentially. The Broncos' really strong defense, the Broncos' offense just kind of up and down.
Yep.
Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, whereas Super Bowl 50 was in Santa Clara. So it just – and this year, what really solidified it – look, I think I agree with you. Beating the Chiefs, I think, really solidified the fact that I think that Denver can do it this year. And what also solidified that is when we look across the entire NFL, Rachel – it seems just wide open this year. There's not this one or two clear-cut elite teams. They're better than everybody else. It just seems hey, it's open in the NFC, it's open in the AFC, and the Broncos, they're in the thick of it right now. What more could you have asked for at this point? Whereas I think most people thought before the season, this is going to be a big stretch here for the Broncos. I think that they faced from, I would say, Monday Night Football. Before the season even began, I said the schedule from Monday Night Football when they faced the Bengals all the way up till they faced the Chiefs before the bye would be their toughest stretch of the schedule.
Yeah, great.
They've done excellent with that. They've won in that stretch. Yeah, they've won 8 freaking games. They won that stretch that I thought was going to be the toughest. And here they are. They got some tough games coming up, obviously. But they're in a far better position right now than I think most people believed. And now it's just about, hey, can you keep this rolling? Which you're going to get some guys back this week. We know for sure Alex Singleton will be back.
Yeah.
We anticipate that Pat Surtain will be back. So if that's the case, it's icing on top of the cake there.
How do you feel about the Broncos, the fact that they were looking at Dameon Pierce?
I think it's always good to do your due diligence. Look, Dameon Pierce, he's a bigger back. He can run after contact, which is stuff that you like.
Mm-hmm.
You bring in a guy like that, the idea behind it is, okay, hey, Now it's like you can save RJ Harvey and Jaleel McLaughlin their bodies a little bit more. It wasn't like any of those guys were going to get upended. It's like, hey, we need a little bit of a bruiser here because we can't run Jaleel McLaughlin in between the tackles 15, 16 times a game.
Yeah.
And RJ, he's used in a variety of different ways. He is going to absorb some contact. So it's just about, hey, can we add a player that maybe can get brought up to speed? I mean, obviously now he's going to Kansas City. So, congrats to him on that. But I was kind of hoping that the Broncos would have interest in him.
I have so many questions on that. I'm like, the Chiefs are kind of going on the downhill. So interesting. The Broncos are going uphill. Kansas City or Denver? Denver.
Yeah.
I've been to both. So Denver. Interesting choice, but we wish him the best of luck there on the practice squad. I hope he has fun.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, maybe a little bit of a gamble for him because, look, here's the thing, too, and I'm curious for your thoughts on this because the debate over the weekend with Denver not playing was, okay, the Colts take on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Who does Broncos country root for? Like on social media, everyone's like, oh, yeah. I saw people saying, oh, yeah, you got to root for Kansas City. I'm like, why would you ever root for Kansas City?
Oh, I was rooting for Kansas City 100%.
No.
They're on the downhill. No. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry. It's the dynasty might be broken. Okay?
Yeah, but you wanted them to win. You wanted them to beat the Colts.
Yeah, I want it to be a much easier road to hosting a home playoff game.
But they're already going to do it. Like, Rachel, here's the thing with the Colts, and I think they proved it in Sunday's game. They're going to drop a couple of games down the stretch. Whereas Kansas City, look, they have to play the Chargers. They have to play Denver again. They play the Cowboys this week, which I think will be a tougher matchup than most people are probably thinking. But in my head, I'm like, if you have a chance to bury Kansas City, dig the shovel a little bit deeper, put a little extra dirt on it. Like, to me, that's the mindset that I had.
I'm also, though, this sounds bad, and Broncos country might be mad at me. I want the Christmas game to be a fun Christmas game. I want there to be something on the line because I think that the Broncos produce well when that's the case. So I want it to be like, oh, the Chiefs have to win on Christmas to be even considered to be in the playoff race. And I hope that the Broncos go, absolutely not. See you later. You are not being in the playoffs this year. So I looked at it as that. I also have my husband and his entire family who are Chiefs fans. But no, I wanted a much easier road. The fact that the Patriots, though, are leading the AFC. When is their bye? Is it this week?
I don't think so. I think, didn't they already have their bye week? I'll check as we're going about here. Let me look.
No, because they're 10-2.
So their bye week, if I'm looking at it correctly, week 13. No, they play the Giants on Monday night. Let's see here, week 14. They have a week 14 bye.
Okay.
So 2 weeks from now. Geez, there's 4 teams that have a bye. That like to go this long and play, I think is crazy. So they only have 4 games coming out of the bye left. Whereas
so who do they play?
Ooh, that's a great question. Okay, so they play Monday Night Football against the New York Giants.
Okay.
They host the Buffalo Bills, which, I mean, at this point, I think Buffalo's a little overrated.
Yeah.
At the Baltimore Ravens, which, I mean, they're right now, they've surpassed the Pittsburgh Steelers in the standings inside the AFC North.
Yep.
But, I mean, Lamar's back. Still, I worry about that defense there. The New York Jets, I mean, they're the Jets. I think that defense obviously plays well, but they just can't sustain. They don't have a very good offense. And then they play the Miami Dolphins. They have probably, I'd say, the easiest schedule. But, Rachel, if the Broncos win out and if the Patriots win out, Denver would have the tiebreaker for the number 1 seed. They would own that by virtue of like where they're at in terms of record-wise, conference, division, head-to-head. I think that's what it would be weighted as. I saw our good friend Andrew Mason post something about that earlier this week. So, but yeah, I mean, talk about a cupcake schedule. My goodness.
The only thing is the Ravens. Oh, 2 things. It's the Bills and the Ravens. That's really the games that you're going to circle for.
Yeah.
The Patriots. I think they're also overrated. I also have major beef with Josh Allen right now. Okay.
Why?
He had his jersey retired, all that, like happy for him, right? He ends his speech with, and it still sucks to be a CSU Ram. And I'm like, you know what, Josh? I was friendly with you, and now I really, really dislike you because I obviously went to Colorado State, so I was like, I have beef with you.
Respect. I get that.
Oh, I was like, really? I'm like, you couldn't have just been like classy all the way out. But of course, I get it. I'm sure like Wyoming fans went crazy. But
he couldn't have just said, go Cowboys, and that's it. Be done with it.
Yeah, seriously. They host the Bills, you said?
Yeah, so that's
a good game.
Yeah, they'll play who did I just click on? I clicked on Buffalo. All right, so New England. So yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, it's versus Buffalo at New England and Foxborough. So that's obviously going to be a tough game. I also think. I mean, I'm not going to diminish their schedule. I think what Drake May's playing impressive football for them. He's done a really good job of just stepping into the system. I think having Josh McDaniels there, they're running that Tom Brady system, but they got some good players. They got a stingy defense. They got great leadership there and Mike Vrabel. But I do think that their schedule is kind of wonky a little bit. Now, I will say this, though. I felt like their win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road at Tampa, I felt like that was big. They certainly needed that. They also dominated the Cleveland Browns, and obviously that was a game Myles Garrett still went off, but I felt like for them to win like that against that defense that, and Myles Garrett, I felt like was impressive. New England's a very interesting team, but like for me, Rachel, I'm looking at Kansas City and the remaining schedule that they have here. Let's go over that real quick. Dallas on Thursday. I'm glad that they have a short week turnaround. I'm super glad.
That's like a coin flip for me. Also, I would be so pissed if I was the Chiefs and be like, you're making me play on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, screw you, the NFL.
That's brutal. Well, I kind of like that the tide is turning against them a little bit here. Then they have 2 straight home games, one against the Houston Texans, which we know that defense is very good. I don't know what that offense is going to look like over there for Houston, but I know that Houston and KC's kind of emerged over the last couple of years since C.J. Stroud has been in the league. It's been a little bit of a rivalry here. The Chargers, I mean, you never know what Chargers team you're going to get. Then they're at the Tennessee Titans, which you can automatically pencil that in as a win for Kansas City. Yep. Christmas Day against the Broncos, and then they close out the season against the Raiders, which I think you can also pencil that Raiders game in as a win for them. So that's why, like, for me, I look at everything as like, if you can bury Kansas City and they're out of the playoffs, down the stretch, that's awesome. And then we can, Chiefs fans can wallow in their own self-pity. It's crazy though. And I finally saw it for the first time this week, Rachel, watching, because we're at the game, right? Most of the time we're at the game. We don't hear the game broadcast. And most of the time we haven't had Tony Romo or Jim Nantz on the call. I think the challenge here is, like, I was sitting there listening, and my wife, she tells me every time Tony Romo's on the TV, like, she'll text me. I found him so insufferable this past weekend. He is terrible.
Their first year with Tony, everyone loved him because he
was great,
predicting all of these things, and then it just felt like he got so lazy with it, and then he almost overcorrected to the fact that now he's annoying, but also it just feels like he's so lazy. So it's this weird mix with Tony Romo. I'll be fascinated to see if they keep him, but also I don't think Tom Brady's very good either.
No. In my opinion, I think if you wanted the star-studded commentary crew, you pair Jim Nantz, and Andrew Mason put this out there as well, and I agree with him. Jim Nantz with Greg Olsen. Those guys together are incredible. The fact that Greg Olsen, in my opinion, who's the best color commentator right now in the game, got upended because of Tom freaking Brady, who's got one hand in the ownership pot, one hand on his TB12 company. He's got Botox left and right. Like, the fact that they upended Greg, but you know what it does? I don't know if you've seen it. It allows Greg Olsen to go and be a youth football offensive coordinator. Like, they've got a star-studded. I think he and Luke Kuechly are coaching together. Yeah. They have a ton of studs coaching these younger kids. And so, I mean, maybe it opens up more time for him. I like that. But I found Romo to be insufferable to the point I was cursing at the TV. I was like, shut the fuck up, Tony. Like, my God, it was driving me mad.
Okay, I didn't get that frustrated, but I also wasn't listening, like, a ton to him. Like, I think our volume was pretty low. Like, I don't know. I just don't. Like, when Peyton and Eli are doing it, I actually love their broadcast. Like, I always will have it up. I feel like I don't scroll on my phone as much. I was just like, whatever. Like, I don't know. I didn't get as mad as you, but it's pretty bad to listen
painful,
to.
Like, cuts the eardrums a little bit.
Yeah. I'd be very, very curious to see if they're going to keep him in it, because I feel like social media is all about how bad Romo is. So you have to listen to the audience that you have and make changes based on that.
The numbers, though, for CBS have been great. And that was really, the Broncos game was, I think, one of the highest watched games on CBS in recent memory.
Oh, yeah. And it was fantastic. I mean,
it was great.
I'm just so happy that they won.
I know.
It sounds so bad, but I was so nervous about that game, right? Of like, okay, you want to be a playoff team, you have to beat a playoff team. And the fact that they did. I also just don't think that the Chiefs have that quote-unquote magic anymore either. I mean, they almost lost to the Colts. If that game would have been in Indy, I would have counted that as an L, a big fat one too.
Yeah. I mean, the Colts kind of choked it away. They had a 20-9 lead, at one juncture. I felt disappointed. Like their third down defense late down the stretch, it fell apart for them. They gave up some big plays. They couldn't cover Rashee Rice in those
They can't catch
situations.
a ball either.
No, my goodness. And they
bad.
couldn't, like, for some reason, like, you got Jonathan Taylor, and it's like Jonathan Taylor can't even get 2 yards on 3rd and 1. And it's like, wait, okay, like, hats off to the Chiefs defense for getting the stop, but you expect a little bit more from the Indy team. That's why I was like, Indy's a good team. Am I sold on them going on this deep run? No, not necessarily. And it's one of those things like, you got to, if Kansas City's on life support, you got to pull the plug, try to do it, so maybe they'll get some help from the Dallas Cowboys this week.
Well, and then we've got primetime Sunday night, Broncos Commanders. No Jaden Daniels, even though he had his light at the end of the tunnel cryptic Instagram post. How are you feeling about this game? Marcus Mariota, does he scare you at all? Give me your overall gut feeling.
Look, I'm an Oregon Ducks fan, so I know all about Marcus Mariota. I think he's in a great situation there. I think they have some really good players around. When you factor in Terry McLaurin, you factor in obviously Deebo Samuel, Marcus Mariota's ability to use his legs. I mean, certainly you're going to have edge contained this week. On top of that, you got to make sure your gaps inside don't get too wide because he'll take it, tuck it up, and run. So that's why like your coverage dynamic is going to have to factor in with your pass rush. But I feel like this year I feel more confident with what going into a week. We see, I think Vance Joseph comes up with such a great game plan.
Yeah.
And I think you have the players who carry over that game plan well. And the fact that they've been able to do what they have without Pat Surtain, I think is also impressive. People are trying to diminish, the Broncos win against the Houston Texans, but look what Bo Nix and the offense were able to do in the fourth quarter against that defense to set up a game-winning drive. Look what that Broncos defense was able to do. People are like, oh yeah, well, CJ Stroud was out. Okay, Davis Mills in the games that minus the Broncos game, he's been lighting it up. They've been winning games. Like, I don't care about that as an excuse. The reality is, like, Bo Nix and that offense faced that really tough Houston defense on the road in Houston. They won. So it's just like, this is a fun NFL season. I think just for, if you're just even a casual observer, you're like, I honestly don't know what's going to happen this week on a week-to-week basis. Like, that's what I'm enjoying. So, like, Washington, they've been really banged up, but they still have a good team. I think Dan Quinn's a great coach. They're coming off of a bye week, so both teams going to be well rested. This is a curious one for me. I think Denver wins, obviously, against them. I think Washington's just not that great this year. I think they need to preserve Jaden Daniels' health a little bit more. But I think it might be an interesting game early on. But I hope the Broncos rise to the occasion. Sunday Night Football, find a way to showcase, like, hey, we're going to keep building on this momentum. We're going to try to win 9 straight.
Yeah, Cody and I, before we started the show, we were talking about Thanksgiving because the Broncos will practice on Thursday, of course, when they've got their Sunday night game. And it's interesting in the back of my mind because we've seen Sean Payton and we've seen other head coaches who will typically give the players like a half day so that they can go, spend time with their families, do a big Thanksgiving dinner, etc. But I'm so curious because you had this entire bye week to hang out with your family. Mm-hmm. And you have a big primetime game, and you really got to keep your foot on the gas. So I'm just curious what Sean is going to do. Is he going to say, you know what, you had the past week, like, we got to get back to it. We can't have too much, like, off time. Or is he going to be like, nope, it is still a holiday. Go hang out. I'm very curious what Sean's going to do, where his head is at. Also, Sean Payton did, in fact, leave the state of Colorado. Did you see that?
I did not.
His daughter got married in Cabo San Lucas over the weekend.
So that was what he did?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I know. So interesting. Wait. I'm also like, to plan a wedding around a bye week.
Wait, she got married? I thought she already got married.
She did get married, then she got divorced, and she got engaged in Australia, I believe, sometime in the last year. So she got remarried again in Cabo San Lucas.
I remember, because I remember Russell Wilson's press conference.
Yep.
Or no, it wasn't Russell Wilson's press conference.
Well, Sean talked about it because it was like OTAs.
It was when Sean came. Sean's presser, he brought his family, and I remember, okay, now that makes a little more sense because I was like, wait a minute. He even told us something like a couple years ago that, he was emotional, like, because he didn't show much emotion or something like that. He's like, when he was doing his first dance with his daughter, and I was like, oh, she got married.
Yep. So funny because the only reason I really remember that is I had just gotten engaged. And so I'm like, sitting here planning I I guess I had been engaged for a minute. Anyways, our wedding was like getting closer. And so I'll just never forget being like, huh. And then I stalked their wedding on social media and I was like, I wonder how much that flower arch cost Sean Payton, right? Like, what does that cost for Sean? But yeah, they got married in Cabo San Lucas. So I didn't actually see a picture of Sean there, but I'm assuming, obviously, with his daughter and him being relatively close, that he was there. So
that makes sense.
But also, planning a wedding around a bye week is still kind of crazy.
I couldn't even imagine because you're probably thinking like if it's his daughter's super nice. She's awesome. She does a lot of great stuff with FanDuel. But like you're waiting for the schedule makers to come out. It's like, or do you just say, okay, hey, we want this date, but if it doesn't work out, we'll just go when it's the off season. I don't know. It's interesting because then again, like now, Rachel, we're at a point, there's not a lot of time off anymore. Like think about this. Let's say hypothetically the Broncos make it to the Super Bowl. That's what, third week of February. I know they push it a little bit longer at this point. You have a little bit of a buffer time, and then all of a sudden you get the NFL scouting combine, which is earlier. You've got NFL free agency. Then you've got the draft. Then you've got OTAs, minicamp. Like you really don't have much time off anymore, which is really, I mean, I like it because year round, it's like, hey, we're justifying our salary, because we work year round essentially. So
I just had some people that were asking me like, well, what are you going to do once the Broncos season's over? And I'm like, okay, well, even if they get bounced in the playoffs, I would have February off. But then really all the draft stuff starts to happen is March, if not end of February. And then you have the draft at the end of April. Like, it's just go, 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 go. Yeah. Even until training camp. We're trying to plan a vacation right now. And when I tell you that it is so hard between schedules for like school and then the Bronco season, it's nearly impossible to find time. Plus, too, the Avs and Nuggets were, kind of expecting a deep run. So I'm like, crap.
That takes you deep into June.
Yeah. I'm like, when am I supposed to go on vacation? But we're obviously very lucky that we're in such a great sports town. But it's hard. The NFL season is year long and people care about it. It's why NFL is king.
Yeah, I know. That's why my wife wants to go to Belize for spring break. And I was like, when is your spring break? She's like, oh, it's like, second, third week of March. I'm like, that's when NFL free agency happens. Like, I don't know if I can. Like, I know. But, it is a cool gig that we have. How do you feel about this week's game? Essentially, I just look at Washington as not only them being banged up, but I just don't think that this is their year. They're going to try to reset next year. Yep. But for Denver, I still think this is a big game for the Broncos.
Oh, I agree. Honestly, it sounds bad even though they beat the Chiefs. I still sit there every week and I'm like, they could lose. Like, they could. It's a coin flip, I feel like, every single week on if the offense is really going to show up. If both goes and throws 4 interceptions one game, I don't know if they could overcome that.
This fan base would melt down.
Yeah, seriously.
Cody did it all in the first half.
Yeah, so we got to see Bo be consistent in his play, even if you are seeing 1 or 2 sacks in a game. I know that doesn't happen very often. We saw it against the Chiefs, though. Like, it just needs to be consistent, and I'll feel a little bit better. But this defense is going to be the ones that carry them, right? Yeah. But all of a sudden, if they give up, if the offense creates a turnover and you're in the red zone already, like, you can't really blame the defense on that front. Yeah, they may be the best red zone defense, but, like, you can't blame them if they're giving up points there. So I still worry. I feel a lot better that it's Marcus Mariota, of course, and the Commanders' defense is not very good.
No, so they're bad.
I think they're going to be able to thread the needle a little bit easier this week. I'm expecting a big game for Cortland Sutton or Troy Franklin, so that would be nice. But I'm not too worried about it, but I also you never know when the lights come on, the primetime game. We don't know how the weather is going to be. I haven't even looked at the weather if it's going to be cold.
I mean, I imagine it's going to be cold over there in D.C.
Yeah, and Bo doesn't play exactly fantastic in cold weather games either.
Yeah, we'll see how it all goes. I think that they'll run the ball more. Like we're on a conference call with Sean on Monday, and he said that. So? Yeah,
I don't know. Every week I'm like they're going to run the ball more, and then they never do.
Well, Sean, I mean, okay, so we're just going based off of what Sean says. Like Sean says, we're going to lean on Jaleel McLaughlin a little bit more. Like we're going to rely on him in the second half just for like developing some in rhythm runs. Like, because really, I think that's what Jaleel did well in this first couple of seasons is, hey, you want to, let's say first down, you get Jaleel on a 4 or 5 yard carry, which is what he was kind of averaging at that point. Okay. Now your second down is manageable. Now you can open up your playbook a little bit more. Denver needs that. They need to obviously commit to RJ Harvey, getting some more runs in between the tackles just to get that experience and that confidence going. But I mean, it's different for Sean to say it. And then it's another thing. Does he actually stick with it? Right. Because the last 3 games the Broncos have played, Bo's thrown 15 plus times in the first half. They've only ran the ball 6 times between their backs in the last 3 games. It's like in the first half, that right there is not good enough. So
And
I'm curious to
two,
see his approach.
right. I also sit there and think, how much do you change because you're winning? Like, if they were losing, you're obviously going to be changing a ton, but you are still winning with this approach. And two, anytime Sean says something, and maybe it's just me, I'm like, are you just saying this to throw somebody off? Like all of a sudden the Broncos are talking about, oh, the Broncos are going to be running, a lot. Sean Payton talks about rushing. Like, I don't know. I never know what to expect with him if he's just like busting our balls or what he's doing.
Well, if it has anything to do with injuries, we know Sean's not going to comment on it.
He's so funny. I appreciate the question, but I'm not going to answer it, especially on a Monday. I'm like, okay, Sean, on Friday, will you answer it? No, absolutely
No,
not.
he's not going to. He'll like, you want to know about injuries? I'll tell you in training camp. Like, that's
Yep.
the only time I'll give that to you guys, which I mean, I get it. I don't understand why it's so top secret.
Yeah.
I know it's like competitive purposes, but every other coach around the NFL talks about, like, you see them talking about like a player's injury or like, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers wrist. No, he's good. He's going to play this week. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's all people want to know is like, hey, are these guys like, are they close?
Yeah.
But it's like, does he want teams to go into the week saying, okay, I don't know if Pat Surtain's going to play, but that's how Sean is. Like, Jaden Daniels is not going to play this week, but I guarantee you Sean and his staff are going to prepare as if he is. They're going to prepare not only for Jaden Daniels, but they're also going to prepare for Marcus Mariota. They're going to prepare for both just because, and you've heard it, Sean's always told the DeMarcus Ware story, which, I always think of that. And I'm like, yeah, they're definitely going to be preparing for both of these guys.
Yeah, I think the Jaden stuff's interesting, but if I'm the Commanders, I'm not going to risk it against this defense. Like, you have to look long term. Your season's pretty much already over. They're what, 3-8?
I think they're 2-7. Let me double check here real quick just to make sure.
Say, like, regardless.
No, they're 3-8.
Yeah, pretty much over. So I wouldn't risk it against this defense, especially if he's not 100%. So
the Commanders' schedule remaining at the Vikings, at the Giants, versus the Eagles, versus the Cowboys, versus the Eagles. So yeah, their season's done.
That is a brutal second half part to the schedule. Holy crap!
And they look terrible.
Who do you think's the most surprising team in the NFL right now?
The most surprising team. Ooh, this is interesting. I mean, I feel like, I could say Denver is a surprise. Like, I think everyone thought Denver was going to be good. I don't know if everybody in the world thought Denver was going to be 9-2 right now. I think the Patriots, where they're at, I think they're obviously certainly a surprise right now.
Yeah.
The Bears at 8-3 right now are also a little bit of a surprise. I didn't expect, not in the NFC North at least. I thought that was going to be Minnesota and Detroit and also Green Bay's division. Early on, I was like, those are going to be the 3 teams ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it right now, let me look at the standings inside that division. The Chicago
Bears is very surprising.
They're leading the NFC North, Rachel. I never really would have thought that.
Crazy. No, but I also didn't expect the Patriots to come out and look like how they do. This is such a weird NFL year. You're right. It feels like the tides are all turning, and all of a sudden, all the big teams are like, "Oh, you're not as good as you once were."
We're back in 2005.
Yeah, Shedeur.
Standings.
We have to talk about Shedeur.
Yeah. What did you think of that? Like, I thought Shedeur did well.
Yeah.
But just the whole, he's, just the hype now. Like, in his post-game interview, it's like, hey, credit the team more. Like, just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think he's got to show a lot to show that he's the guy. But then Cleveland's a dumpster fire. They played the Raiders. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I think Shedeur is a media press member's dream come true, because I don't think he does the media training and takes it very seriously and gives you the BS answers. I think he says exactly what he's thinking.
Like
and
Jerry?
I think that's a dream if you are in the media. I would love it if Bo Nix would come out and say, you can thank me for this one. Or, Cortland Sutton's the best player in the world. Like, whatever it's going to be, whatever he actually thinks. I think that he's a dream. I think they're going to lose this week, if I just had to put a guess out there, because I do think that there's a little bit of a hype, and I believe in the football karma gods.
Ooh, they're playing San Francisco too, which
Also, how about Christian McCaffrey? Holy crap.
he's stud.
He's
He's
a
a
stud.
stud.
I also totally forgot that he played for the Panthers last night. And so when they were showing some quotes about, oh, like there's natural emotion going up against your former team, I'm like, that feels like a lifetime.
Forever ago.
Yeah, a
How
lifetime.
how long has he been? I think how long has he been in San Francisco has been the key. Because I think so many people, if you would have just now in hindsight, like if you ask, I think someone who's been watching NFL for 3 or 4 years, like today, it's like, hey, like what's your thoughts on Christian's career? I guarantee you, most people, like if they're like 3 to 4 years into watching the NFL, are going to be like, yeah, he's had such a great career in San Francisco. And it's like, do you remember that he played in Carolina? And that there was a time and the Carolina Panthers were very good.
Yeah.
It's wild to think about.
I mean, Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. That whole situation. I'll never forget Steph Curry banging the drum for the Super Bowl. And I was just what on earth? Like, how did this happen?
And then the Broncos said, we're going to serve you some humble pie, Mr. 15-1.
Yeah. Also, I can't believe we've gone this entire time. We haven't talked about the fact that the Broncos are going to play against Von Miller.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy because it's almost like it almost feels like Von's been out of the NFL, right? But he hasn't been. He's got, 5 sacks for the Commanders?
Playing on 37% of their snaps, too. So it's not like he's out there for every single one. I mean, he's old now for sure, but yeah, it's interesting.
He wanted so badly to come back to Denver this offseason. He wanted to sign in Denver. And I know Nick Bonito was behind the scenes like, please bring Von back. Like, no that's way. Nick. Von Miller is Nick Bonito's idol. So I guarantee you after the game on Sunday, those guys are going to do a jersey swap. Guaranteed.
That'd be really cool. Okay, so because we're not doing a Thursday episode, we have to do our coffee bets for the week, of course.
I like it.
Okay, so jersey swap. You're saying yes. I'll say no just for the opportunity. So Bonito and Von. Okay. Bo Nix 3. So let's do 2.5 touchdowns.
Over.
I'm going over too. 2.5 TD Bo. I'm going over. Like, can I write? What other one should we do? Jaleel over under.
Ooh, this is going to be the hardest one.
Mm-hmm.
Because is Sean going to run the ball? 45.5.
Okay, I was going to go 55 just because I'm like, but we also know Sean doesn't like it. Okay, so Jaleel 45.5 yards.
I'm going to say over.
I'm going under.
Okay. I mean, that's honestly I feel like that's like the safest bet you could have made. 100%.
Yeah. Okay, last one. Patrick Surtain, does he play or not play?
Yes.
Surtain play. I'm also going to say yes. Okay.
So
we've got jersey. Well, Bonito and Von switch. You guys let us know in the comments to make sure you vote on this. I am saying no. Cody is saying yes. 2.5 TDs for Bo. I guess we should clarify that. Are we talking passing, rushing, or both?
I would say both overall.
Okay, I'm done. Jaleel, 45.5 yards. You're going over. I'm going under. And will Surtain play? Yes and yes on both of those. So let us know in the comments if you guys agree or not. Cody, what are you doing for Thanksgiving besides you'll be at Broncos? Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I need to go shopping here later. I'm making mac and cheese for everybody. We're having a Thanksgiving with all of our friends here, just because like my family's in Grand Junction, her family's back in Staten Island. So we're just going to do that with our friends. There's going to be like 16 of us all getting together. I'm going to make mac and cheese. We're just going to chill, watch football. That's why I'm hoping I know what the schedule is, just so I can like coordinate my day. But that's what I'm going to be doing. What are you going to be doing?
My mom is going to come over. So my nieces are all, or not all, one of them is getting her tonsils taken out tomorrow. So
the timing couldn't have been worse.
I know, but like they're off of school. She's super young too. So I'm like, okay, so she's getting that out. So they're all going to just hang out at home. My mom's going to come over though. We're going to do lunch depending on the Broncos schedule. Cause I'm like, well, if Sean calls it early, then I guess we might need to switch it to dinner. But then we're setting up for our party on Friday night, putting up the Christmas tree, all of that jazz. So I'm excited for just like a very chill day, but I'm with you. The media schedule will be very nice to know.
I know. I'm praying for the email any second now, just to.
Have we gotten it? Probably
Let me double
not.
check. Nope, we have not gotten it yet.
Dang.
We'll probably get it around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I'm guessing, or we'll get it day of.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm just gonna go like 8 o'clock tonight, so you're a lot better than I am. But we
Maybe
appreciate everybody hanging out with us here on the Orange Crush podcast. Again, please leave your comments down below for all of the Benito, all of those jazz. If you get all of them correct, I will buy you a coffee, which is also very fun.
I will as
So,
well.
oh, 2 coffees?
Might as
Dang.
well. I mean, well, yeah, why not? Why
Yeah,
not?
2 coffees from wherever you want. So let us know. Comment down below. We hope you guys all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And of course, go Broncos on Sunday night, prime time. And then we'll be back on Tuesday to break down everything you need to know, hopefully about a Broncos win. And we will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.